Oh, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Metahumans Rising one-shots, hosted by Full Moon Entertainment. I am your host and GM, Dave. And I'll be running tonight's adventure, Burning the Midnight Oil. Let's go around the table and meet our players and who they'll be playing tonight, and then we'll jump into the adventure. I'm just going to go from left to right for what I see on the Twitch stream. Miranda, that's the character name. Whoops. Would you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Push the talk.
That's gonna get me. That's gonna get me off stream. I'm Miranda. Elena, also that's my actual name. IT director for Full Moon Entertainment, and I like being in these things. And I'm playing Bunny. I'm Bunny. So I'm playing my Bunny character that I have the last 3 times actually. So here we go. I ring on the ears.
Respect the ears. All right. Let's jump over to KG and Paragon.
Hi everyone. You can call me KG. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me here tonight joining this group for a Metahumans Rising one-shot. I'm playing Paragon, the archaeologist turned supernatural protector, or punchy wizard as some people might call him. And I'm looking forward to having some fun.
Punchy wizard, that is perfect. All right.
He cast fist.
That's right, I cast fist. All right, Michael.
My name is Michael. I am playing Hopgillies, a stuffed bunny brought to life by a metahuman child many years ago. You can find me at Lasnav, LLASNAV, on Twitch if I ever actually get back into streaming, which is...
Did we just lose Michael's audio?
I think that was just the end.
Oh, okay. So that brings us over to Spud.
I'm Spud. I'm Certified's brother. I'm playing Bernadette. She's a teenage telekinetic. Like Carrie, except with rage issues. I don't know. So like Carrie. Yeah.
Like Carrie with rage issues, but Carrie had rage issues.
So Carrie.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to start with a quick clarification on my part, and then a question for those assembled before us. So I call these one-shots, but really they're more like episodic adventures, right? So we do accept that everyone gathered here is a team. They do work together, or hero it up together. They probably have different day jobs, right? Although I'm not sure what day job Stuffed Bunny has, but you get the idea. At any rate, I bring that up because I want to know what it looks like when the 4 of you get together in your maybe not superhero downtime, but like, is there a super base? Are you gathered at someone's apartment? Where do you rally in preparation for being heroes?
We should have a base. I don't know where.
if I remember correctly, on our previous gaming, didn't we use our previous comrade Crowfather's bookstore?
Oh, that's right.
Rallying point.
That's right. So yeah, you guys you're using a bookstore as kind of like your unofficial base. That's right. Thank you for reminding me.
And I'd like to point out that that's where Hopkins also works.
He is gainfully employed there.
Yeah, he cleans and occasionally cooks, bakes cookies and muffins.
Baking cookies and muffins is a vital skill and boon to the economy.
I'll just be Crowfather's niece. It works.
So, we will accept that while Crowfather is not in tonight's adventure, he does continue to exist within our episodic world. But we have Bernadette, not Crowfather, in the story tonight.
Well, it is easy enough to simply say that he's gone off to, I don't know, Africa to pick up some rare books that he's purchased online, but they won't ship it to him, so he's really pissed off about it. But he left somebody else to work in the bookstore, so owning the bookstore doesn't mean you're the one who has to always be the one working it.
That is very true. And dealing with customs is a lot easier in person, I suppose.
Yeah, just turn into a bunch of crows, fly there, grab the books, fly back. It's the flying that gets him.
Right. The private plane he chartered lands. He never actually disembarks officially. He just crows his way out, and then he'll crow his way back in, and he'll take off. Nothing to declare at all.
Makes perfect sense to me. All right. So, since it is a bookstore, there's probably not like a TV in the store itself, but there is a back room. I do believe there's like a basement area as well, but there's probably some kind of staging area in the bookstore, right? We will establish that there is either a TV or a computer that's streaming the news, because we live in the future, so you don't actually have to have a TV to watch TV anymore. But yeah, so whoever is in this back area or staging area, you're actually going to see a news report showing what looks like a pretty standard college swim meet, until one of the swimmers doesn't cross a lane marker, lunges across a lane marker with so much force that he breaks it from its hold, and then tries to tackle the opponent who was or competitor that was slightly faster than them in the water, using the lane marker. And it actually takes multiple lifeguards and people to pull him off. And then the reporter picks up and says, this was a scene from last night's college swim meet. While Brandon Myers claims he suffered a fit of brought on by exhaustion, investigators found evidence of a new drug police are calling snake oil. While we are only just learning about this new drug, it appears to greatly impact the user after only a few treatments. If Myers' attack on fellow swimmer and competitor Ashton Wright is any indicator, it may also seem to multiply their aggression. Here at WFCX, we reached out to Dr. Jillian Moore, a DBC researcher, for details on the new steroid. The answers she gave us were disturbing. It then cuts over to a scientist in a lab, along with a reporter interviewing. Early testing shows that snake oil, as it's been dubbed, reacts with the user's biology in both predictable and unpredictable ways. Like most steroids, the compound stimulates muscle growth. However, its side effects may vary. From there, it cuts back to the anchor. He says, "As the story develops, we will report more. But now, let's go to the weather." And I will now hand the ball to you. What are people's thoughts and reactions to this news story and this new drug, snake oil?
If some teenager got it, it must be pretty easy to get. Or college athlete, so young adult.
Yeah, either teen or early 20, for sure.
I don't know. It would seem like a good testing ground if they're trying to figure it out. Targeting college athletes who are desperate to get a leg up for a professional career, to make that jump from amateur to professional.
I fear I have to question the youth of this country's intelligence to willingly take a substance named snake oil.
They probably don't know its connotations. They're too young.
Last time I looked at a college's offered classes, I do believe history was offered to these students, yes?
Yeah, but it's not always required.
Are you saying if there was something called void stuffing, you wouldn't try to take it?
No, because I know what void means.
You're a very smart bunny.
I like to read. When you do not sleep or eat, it leaves you much time. So I guess the question then becomes, do we feel it's important that we investigate drugs being handed out to college-age students? I, for one, think so.
Definitely.
If it has this kind of effect, it could be mayhem if more of this gets out on the street.
I'm in.
Does anyone have any kind of like a sports background or swimming background? Anything along those lines?
I have climbing. So I could be like,
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Give me an intelligence plus climbing roll.
I can run some mean track and field.
You have to say or type out the full roll.
yeah, I realized it as I did it.
Okay. Yeah, so thinking about how dangerous that might be to how strong like paracord and nylon rope are, and those lane markers are substantially larger, and this guy like snapped through it. So that speaks to a not just top tier level of strength, but like enhanced level of strength.
Super strength almost.
So, I guess our options, perhaps, would be to try and visit the college, see if we can't figure out, find this gentleman and or his friends or whatever fraternities he belongs to. Do we know, was he taken in? Was he brought to any hospitals? Was he arrested? What was his ultimate fate? Can we find this out?
Yeah. So if you look up the news story, right, you'll see that Brendan Myers has been arrested. He was arrested on the scene, and he was taken into police custody.
We could always try going directly to the police, speaking with them, and seeing if they will work with us.
That's a reasonable first option. I mean, if they say no, we just figure it out on our own.
Yeah.
We could do also... cops in the campus.
Do campuses have cops?
Some do.
Well, I don't know if he was taken in by the campus police, but he might have been taken in by the regular cops.
So he was detained. He was for realsy arrested, not just campus arrested. Like there were probably campus police on scene, but like the actual police had to formally take him in.
Right.
So we can try talking to the police, who more than likely will tell us to skedaddle. We can visit the college, see if we can't figure out what fraternities he may belong to. Maybe talk to the athletic association that he's a part of.
His coach?
His coach?
Coach probably gave it to him.
My knowledge of college sports is quite limited, so I'll have to take your word for that.
People do anything for that golden recognition.
True, they will push the limits.
I don't see this as being going to be used for the good of society at all. I feel a big uptick in crime coming.
Agreed.
To quote a television show I have to catch a couple episodes of previously, drugs are bad. Okay.
All right. So where do you want to start this investigation?
A campus?
Well, the campus definitely, but maybe we should swing by, speak with the police. That'll probably be a quick in and out, since I predict more than likely they'll simply tell us to go away. But it's always worth a shot, I assume.
I agree. I think that we should at least see what the police are willing to divulge.
Whatever the talking rabbit, stuffed rabbit wants.
You have to specify which rabbit.
The stuffed one, not the fast one.
I think somebody's cranky. Would you like a cookie?
Sugar's not great for you either, okay? But she takes the cookie.
Sorry, if you wait a couple minutes, I have a batch of sugar-free ones still in the oven.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry to clear my throat there. If you're going to stop by the police station, are all of you going to try and talk to the police, or who's going in on this one?
I'm willing to go in.
Okay. All right. So, do you have any kind of police contacts or like area of influence with the police, anything along those lines?
No, but I am a pretty darn good negotiator.
All right. So let's go ahead. Let's just do a basic expression plus etiquette roll.
What's etiquette, not negotiation?
This is just talking to the cops to, start the conversation, see what they'll share with you, that sort of thing.
Okay.
We're not negotiating quite yet.
As I have etiquette, can I support this role?
Are you going in with Paragon?
Yeah, it was. I assumed unless not everyone wants to, all 4 of us could show up at the police station. Unless we want to pretend we're human, in which case I wouldn't go in. But I assume showing up as obvious superheroes would have a better effect on getting the cops to actually talk to us.
Oh, you bring up a really good point. Now we know that Hopcules is a 3-foot tall stuffed rabbit, like stuffy rabbit, with a wooden sword and shield, right?
Correct.
Okay. And we know that Miranda is a living, breathing humanoid rabbit. But how does everyone look? Like, what is there like a? Does Miranda wear a costume, and then we'll go down the line because I know Hopkins, but let's see what everyone else looks like here. You gotta hit the push to talk.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Actually, I think I have a picture for this, but I have no way to post that picture. Hold on.
You want me to fill in?
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and describe Paragon, let's do that.
So, Paragon looks like a cross between a like wannabe hip professor and Indiana Jones. So jeans and boots and like a t-shirt and a vest, like what you see I'm wearing right now. Where trying to dress up something that's definitely dressed down. On his hip, he actually has a tome that is in like a leather-bound kind of holster / satchel that's attached to his belt, and he has a fairly large and gaudy gold chain around his neck that he keeps tucked into his shirt for the most part. But occasionally he'll pull out, and it has a large medallion on it.
But it's kept under the shirt unless necessary. Is that
unless necessary? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mostly to keep from people trying to just snatch it off him. So he's not trying to pull a Flavor Flav or anything like that.
That's the first thing I thought of too.
Yeah. But
my mind went to Hosea Williams, but
oh, there you go.
Or Mr. T.
Yeah, a little bit more like Mr. T, but definitely tucked away. So like you can see the actual chain around his neck, but then it tucks into the shirt.
Okay. All right. And how about Bernadette?
Say she's wearing like a black leather coat that's like cut in half, but it's like sloppily cut.
So it's not like a bolero jacket, it's like actually a leather jacket that's been cut in half?
Right. And like a red shirt, nothing on it, just like red t-shirt. And black cargo pants. Sneakers.
Okay.
And
All right.
I'm thinking like a green mohawk.
What kind of mohawk are we talking about? Like, is it like a little mohawk? Is it like a big mohawk?
It's like a medium-sized mohawk, kind of like a Steve-O from Salt Lake City Punk.
Okay. All right, and sorry, go ahead.
But green.
But green. All right, let's check. So Miranda.
Yep.
You were trying to find a reference image to describe kind of what Miranda looked like, so I wanted to circle back there.
Okay, I got a pink dress and cape. That's what I got.
Pink dress and cape. Gotcha. Okay. I respect this. Okay. So you head into the police station to talk with the officers. They're not they're not too inclined to let you talk to him because it's not like you guys have like a strong reputation or anything along those lines. But Paragon, you and Hopkules talk with the officer on the site, and you said you were going to, or Hopkules was going to support Paragon. What is their etiquette?
Hopkules' etiquette is a 12.
Okay. So yeah, while they can, essentially they tell you that like he's really strung out, like he's going through bad DTs or like detoxing, but they can let someone in to talk to him as long as they don't mind having police supervision.
I do not mind.
I don't mind that either.
That seems completely reasonable.
All right. So he is not only is he like skittish when they bring him in, he looks emaciated. In the sense of it is somewhere between a professional bodybuilder who intentionally dehydrates themselves to look extra veiny before a show, and there is not enough food, or they're not consuming enough food for their muscle mass. If you can picture kind of where those two meet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to pull off a Hugh Jackman and just went a little too hard on it.
Yeah. He tried to pull a Hugh Jackman and ended up with
I don't get that reference.
it was just his workout routine for one of the Wolverine movies. But yeah, and so I was gonna say, but he ended up with Christian Bale in The Mechanic. So
Yeah.
that's like,
Ouch. That's painful.
Yeah. All right. So they sit him down and they handcuff his hands, and then they run a chain across that. Right. Which just reinforces Bernadette's earlier supposition about potentially having super strength. But Paragon, you said you want to try and talk to him, negotiate with him. How does this go?
I think I'd start by like asking him how he is, how he's feeling, that sort of thing, to begin, and then depending on like how, because he's there's still a question as to whether or not he's lucid right now, right? That's kind of the impression I'm getting.
Well, when we ask him how he's doing, how he's feeling, he's like, "Oh, I felt better. You know, I could do a lot better. You know, I could feel a whole lot better if you take care of me. You know, I hear I'm going to be arraigned. You don't want to post bail for me."
I'm more concerned about whether or not you will have any bad reactions to what you were taking.
I had the best reaction to what I was taking.
Mm-hmm. Got you landed in here, though.
Well, that's understanding it. We don't have to worry about that. I'll be out and I'll be fine. I'll be swimming and it'll be great. I'll be fine. I'll be swimming and I'll swim and I'll swim.
Aragon will kind of look at the others and look back and look over at the cop and then look back at him and say, "Okay, you want out. You need to prove, though, that you're not a danger to yourself or others."
All right. So go ahead. Give me a mental plus negotiation roll.
Okay.
Now we're negotiating.
Mental plus negotiation.
Yeah.
So that's going to be... That'll be a 30.
Okay. All right. And let's see. Did you only sixes? Doesn't look like it.
Nope, no sixes.
Okay. So, like he's like clearly strung out, and he can barely articulate his answers, right? Mm-hmm. But you said you're an archaeologist. Do you have science?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
I have science, a minimal amount of it, but I do.
Okay. So he was approached by a dealer after his last swim meet. Mm-hmm. The guy had worn a trench coat and a hoodie, which made it really hard to like see his face. And he talks about like it wasn't the face that he was interested in; he was interested in results. All right. And then he just goes on about the euphoric feeling, like it was different than anything he had ever done before, and the results came faster than anything he had ever tried. Right? Like it was just, it was just a quicker reaction.
How are you supposed to get more?
And
is there a sample of this stuff that we can study, like at a lab or something? I don't want to bring it home.
So he kind of breaks down like the details of the next possible buy, happening at a like gives you the location and that kind of stuff. Miranda, the police will tell you like outside of the interview. So we're going to assume that like you're kind of in the observation room with the cops, and it sounds like Bernadette and Hopkins. And so they'll tell you that while they searched the gym at the or searched the not gym, the
meat,
like
lockers.
blockers at the swim meet. They didn't find a sample, and they're currently trying to get a warrant to investigate the fraternity that he belongs to.
Okay, I think I might carry on with them then, because once they have a sample of it, I'd like to take a look at it, see what if it has a chemical composition or something else.
If we could get the gentleman to agree to assist us in acquiring a sample for the police, would the police agree to offer to him some kind of plea deal? Or to post bail for him or something like that? Something, that he would want?
So he gets the police a sample, and they, for a negotiated reduced sentence.
Right, though he wouldn't get them the sample. He would tell us how to get the sample. We would get it for the police.
Oh, I see.
We don't want them to let him out to go get a sample because nobody expects that to turn out well.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a negotiation plus or our mental plus negotiation roll to see how well you can bargain with the cops for that deal?
Can I assist with diplomacy?
Yeah.
I have a 7 in diplomacy.
In diplomacy.
Can I spend a willpower to add my etiquette since I am friendly and earnest in my dealings with the police and attempting absolutely no subterfuge whatsoever?
Yes, you can. 100% you can do that.
That is a 35 with 1 6.
Yeah, so the cops will certainly agree to it. If you can get the sample based on his testimony, right? They'll certainly help out in any way they can.
All right. I would like to go into the room with Paragon and the gentleman.
Okay.
What was his name again?
When he attacked was Ashton something. I forgot what his name was.
His name is Brendan Myers.
Brendan Myers. There you go.
Alright, so the stuffed bunny will hop into the interrogation room and hop up onto a chair and politely greet Mr. Myers.
He will clearly think that he is having some kind of hallucination when this happens and begin to freak out.
I would like to use my my domestic skill to, slide him a nice brownie to help calm him down.
That's probably not going to help.
Not that kind of brownie.
No, I know. Still not going to help him. He's not going to make us think it. He's not going to think it's any less weird that it's happening then.
Mr. Myers, you are not in fact having a psychotic break. I am a real 3-foot-tall stuffed bunny. Please eat this brownie and listen to the deal I have acquired for you from the police that will see a reduced sentence for you.
That's exactly what a psychotic break would say.
I can see you push the brownie towards him, and he's just eyeballing it like...
I mean, he's also strapped down, so he can't feed himself.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, he leaned down and
We're gonna shove this brownie in your mouth now, and you're gonna
like a velociraptor.
Clever girl.
I just want you to know, it's a very good brownie.
Are we gonna feed the swimmer the brownie?
All right, so you work out the logistics of him eating the brownie.
Draw me like one of your French bunnies.
But you wanted to tell him more after that.
Correct. I've gotten the police to agree that if he helps us find any of his old samples of the snake oil that he most likely still has stashed somewhere, used vials, which would still have something that could be tested, I assume. Residue of some sort. I doubt, he licked them clean. But if he can help us find some old used samples to give to the police, they will agree to give him a plea bargain and a reduced sentence. If that means he has to give us some kind of written introduction to his frat, so his frat buddies will talk to us, if that involves him telling us where he's got old samples that he stashed.
So, he will, yeah, so reduced sentence, no concrete, like what that's going to look like. Why don't you give me an expression plus etiquette roll due to brownie power? And let's see how he takes this deal.
By the power of brownie, I roll a 30.
All right. So he'll tell you that if you go to his fraternity house, yeah. I don't know why I kept saying sorority, but if you go to his fraternity house, and you tell them that, or ask them to speak to Bass, right? And to get his backpack, get his backpack. He gets his deal.
And this is Mr. Myers' backpack or Bass's backpack?
Like my backpack, man. My backpack.
Okay. I just didn't like to not have any vagaries. Make sure nothing goes wrong on your deal.
No, I certainly understand the need. This is Dave saying this. I understand the need to remove ambiguity there. But yeah, that's what he can give you, or that is what he will provide for you for this negotiated deal.
If the police could provide us with a pencil and or pen and a piece of paper, would you be willing to write out a bit of introduction for us so that Bass knows that we are not in fact weirdos who are lying to him?
Just the honest kind of weirdos, right?
Yes, I am the honest kind of weirdo.
Yeah, no, the cops can do that. And he'll write out the basically he says, something to the effect of, Bass, give this not teddy bear my backpack.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Myers.
Is how he signs it.
Much appreciated, Mr. Myers. We shall return, hopefully, with your expedited freedom, if not complete freedom. Paragon, do you have any other questions or deals you wish to confer?
No, I think that we've got what we need.
Let me ask the broader group, is there anything else you want to do while you're at the police station?
I'm good.
Miranda?
I'm good too.
Okay. And Hercules.
I believe I have all I need here for now.
Okay. All right. So this leaves you a couple of different options, right? You can probably make it to the school pretty quickly, or it's the local university, and then you have some time before this this deal that Myers told you about is going down. So you have those two leads. Plus, there's any other direction that you might want to go for this investigation. What's your next move?
You should probably knock out the fraternity right away, and it probably wouldn't hurt to hit up the coach either.
Agreed. It seems like that's the path of least resistance.
To save time, do we want to split into two groups of two? Two of us go to the fraternity, two of us go speak with the coach? Because the note is written for me, I will have to be one of the two who goes to the fraternity.
I can go see the coach.
I'll go see the coach.
Okay.
All right. So let's do that first. So Bernadette, Miranda, the two of you, or all four of you, go to the university. But the two of you split off to head to the athletic facilities. It is not hard to find the coach. He's not at the pool, but he is at the gym running his athletes through like circuit training. Because it's not just swimming to be a good swimmer. But he's kind of what you expected. He's middle-aged, clearly used to be athletic kind of guy. Pair of school-colored trunks on and a hoodie with a obligatory clipboard. And when you guys walk in, he's yelling at them to, push themselves, or other sports-like training phrases to insert here.
I want to watch the athletes do their thing and see if they're like, I don't know, going harder than they should. I don't know what the.
Oh, interesting. That's a good avenue there. Give me a sense plus forensics roll.
Oof. Can I use my perception or my intuition?
Let me look at your character sheet really quick.
Okie dokie.
I'll let you spend a willpower for street smarts.
I'll take it. Oh, my sense is so garbage too. I'm gonna spend an extra willpower to explode my dice.
Okay.
39, no sixes.
Nice. So all the athletes seem to be, or at least the ones that are working on weights, actually seem to be using weights that are below what they look like they'd be capable of. So not even like in a super strength kind of way, but like, oh, this guy would probably easily curl 25 pounds, but he's using 10 or 15 pound dumbbells, right? And pair that with the coach saying, "I want to see reps." But no one is pushing themselves like beyond what you would expect, right? Now, if this is an endurance thing, you might want to like sit and wait and see who's actually showing exhaustion after a few minutes, right? And like I said, that's actually a reasonable thing to do, which is like, because you haven't like introduced yourself, you haven't like interrupted their classes. It's a gym, you've walked in, no one's paying attention to you because they're all working out. So you spend about 5 or 10 minutes, and you can see that they are getting fatigued, and the coach is like doing the coachly thing and pushing them to go harder, and like swap between different types of exercises. Again, it's like a circuit training kind of thing.
But no one looks like they're going like, no one's doing like 1,000 or more reps on that barbell. Or
yeah, it's not like the guy who's working that like 15-pound weight is just like and not like getting tired at all, right? Like all of them are showing degrees of fatigue.
I think we could probably rule out him doping them up. But I mean, we can always test it.
Well, I'll point out that even if he's not the pusher, he might have information about his athletes.
I'm going to introduce myself to the coach.
I'll follow her, but I won't say anything yet.
All right. Well, when the two of you walk over, the coach will blink twice, blink a third time, and then say something witty to the effect of, "Let me guess, you're here for the track and field team. Do you do the long jump?" I need reps, people.
Yeah, I can do the long jump. I can do the very long jump. I might be able to do the over the building jump. I haven't tried that one yet.
And I'm her gal Friday.
All right, so he's just like deadpan, looks at you. It's like, "Oh, over the building jump." Looks at your feet, looks back at you, checks his clipboard, turns a few pages, and says, "All right, so you are here for track and field then?"
Actually, we're here about a potential drug problem.
Flips the pages back over, looks at you. Uh-huh. What's the potential drug problem?
Well, we had somebody come to the police station, and they were pretty strung out. And it seems like they were doing track and field here first. I was wondering if you had any particular observations that you could give us about potential other athletes and using this drug, and if you could tell us if you have any kind of evidence of a source of where this drug might be coming from.
So he eyeballs you. Go ahead, give me a etiquette plus expression plus etiquette roll. While he thinks over how he wants to respond to you.
I don't have etiquette, but I have expression.
All right, so you just roll your expression and 2 dice.
2d. Which dice?
I would let you spend a willpower to sub in your fitness and talk, athlete to athlete.
All right, I'll do that.
So then you roll your expression plus your fitness and 3 dice.
That's something pretty good.
So the coach kind of nods. He's like, "All right, yeah, you're here about Brendan. I get it. Look, the guy was a second stringer, right? Like, best race, he comes in third place prior to that fiasco the other day. I run a clean show here, so I want you to know that that's not anything that we condone. Being myself, the athletics department, or this college, right? I should have known that he was juicing, though, because his time started shaving seconds off in days, and it was I don't know. I thought, you know, maybe his parents had like kicked him in the ass. He finally realized that he has to actually put some effort forward, but turns out he's on this junk. So it's a real shame. It is.
Can I make an intuition roll to see if he's lying?
You make a subterfuge roll.
I could do that.
Well, he's making that roll. I'm going to say, well, we certainly don't blame you or the university for something that your student is doing. However, we'd like to take a look at his locker because we're trying to get a sample of the substance so that we can see what's in it.
Yeah, so
you
can check his locker, that's fine. But, like, the cops have already been through here. I'll tell you, though, like, I was talking to the football coach, and he's seeing like at least one of his guys showing some nice improvement, and by nice I mean drastic. All right, so maybe you go catch a football game and leave my boys alone. Bernadette, like, the guy is annoyed. He seems legitimately frustrated about the fact that his ethics might be called into question because of what's happened, right? But he doesn't seem to be like hiding anything.
We'll keep that football thing in mind. Thank you for your time, Coach.
Yeah, like, look, let's just, you know, we want what's best for these kids, and whatever Brennan was doing, he did it for his reasons and not, I don't know. Like, I don't know what pushes it. I know what pushes it. I need another lap, kids! And, all right, let us cut from here over to the fraternity. And as Hopcules and Paragon arrive at the Alpha Rho Psi house, so it is what one might expect. A nice, you know, well-established, larger building that has the minimum level of repair and maintenance that one can muster during their college days. How do you guys want to approach this?
Well, Mr. Paragon, as I have never been within a college fraternity before, do you know the proper etiquette for inquiring upon members of said fraternity?
Let me try and think back to when I was in college. Yeah, and you'll see Paragon kind of walk up to the front door and open it, because most fraternities are just unlocked most of the time, and be like, "Hey, we're looking for Bass. Where's Bass at?"
All right.
Very curious. Not what I would have expected.
So, there's like a few people like milling about in like the not the foyer, but like a common room that it opens up into.
Mm-hmm.
And you open the door and you're like, "Hey, we want to talk to Bass." Like, one guy doesn't even bother to look at you, just screams, "Bass!" I said, "Bass!" And eventually a guy comes like wandering down the stairs. You know, just your typical college bro. You know, he's got his fraternity shirt on. He's got a visor with like some gelled short hair. And, he of course sees Hopkins. He's like, "Nope, no, I'm sober."
Yeah, the Bunny here and I snuck out a message from your boy in jail. He asked us to deliver it to you.
All right. So you hand him the note. I'm assuming, right?
Well, hand him his. It's more than that. It's Hopkins will politely hop over to him, proffer the note to him, holding it above his head.
Okay. He looks down. He stands there like looking straight ahead, or well, like his head straight up and like looks down like this, like this is happening. Mm-hmm. And he will take the note. You can see the calculus going on inside this guy's head, that it is too weird not to be real.
That's what I was hoping for.
And he will wander into the living room, or the common room, take a drink out of somebody's hand, walk back up the stairs, drinking that person's drink, because this is not something to be done sober. And within a few minutes, he will return, proffering up what looks like a ratty, like this guy probably had this backpack since high school backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And like there's almost something admirable in the fact that this backpack's lasted that long, right? And just like he will hand it to Paragon while trying not to look at Hopkins.
Well, Paragon will take it. Be like, appreciate it. Anything weird going on around here?
So that's the expression you get. He just kind of dealing with the situation. He's like, it's apparently a doozy of a day now.
Hopkins, do you got any those brownies left on you?
Oh, but of course, Mr. Paragon. And I will proffer up a beautifully baked brownie to the nice gentleman. And thank you, Mr. Bass, for your cooperation.
Sure.
He's a mean baker.
I almost guess he has to be.
Like, what else would he be, right?
Yeah.
In point of fact, my primary role was that of a butler, but I find baking to be a fun side activity.
I stand corrected.
That's great to know, Mr. Rabbit. Toy? kind of
seriously though. You notice anything weird about Brendan before all this?
Well, I mean, like, what do you mean by weird? Like, Brendan was a great guy.
Yeah, did he start acting different than normal? Did he seem like he wasn't himself? That didn't seem like him in the news footage, right? He wasn't prone to flipping out.
I mean, he was a good guy, right? Like, I don't know what got into him. Like, we're bros, right?
Yeah, of course.
Bro stuff. He swims. That's cool. That's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm an economics major. We hang out at the frat house. I didn't know he had, like, these issues, right? Like, we're in max chill mode in the Alpha Row.
So that's not normal for him. That's not normal behavior, right?
I mean, not from what I saw.
Fair enough. And don't worry, anything that you say stays between you, me, and the bunny.
Yeah. But yeah, so he really he very much sticks to this idea that they're fraternity friends, but Brendan had his life, he had his own life, right?
Yeah.
Do you have subterfuge?
I do not.
Okay.
Bunny? Or Hopkins? Do you have
Nope.
subterfuge?
Sadly, lying is not my forte.
You can give me an expression and 2 dice roll.
Okay.
Does that go for both of us?
Yeah, sure. I have no problem with both of you making a roll. Yeah, so...
Sorry. I did that wrong. I forgot to add the +6.
Okay. If he was lying, it was probably only to protect himself. It doesn't seem like... he seems more interested in telling you about how great Alpha Rho Psi is, and how everybody here is very relaxed and very nice and very friendly. And he doesn't want to talk about Brendan, right? That was this guy that, like, we hung out, right? But I didn't, like, choke a guy out. No.
Gotcha.
Well, as a token of our gratitude for your help and this fraternity being such a chill and friendly place, please take this plate of cookies and share it amongst your friends. And Hopkins will pull out of his satchel a plate of foil-wrapped cookies. The plate and cookies are much too large for the small satchel he has upon his waist, but yet he still pulls them out anyways.
He will comfort himself with the power of brownie while trying to think through that one.
I know him, but I didn't choke a guy out. Know him.
Sounds like Spud got the joke.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So after leaving the Alpha Rho Psi house, you can look at his backpack, and it is like a change of clothes, right? But wrapped up inside of like 2 pairs of socks is what looks like a overly complicated medical pen, right?
Gotcha.
So like if you ever seen like an insulin pen where you can dial in the dosage.
Yeah.
Like imagine that, but designed for combat situations.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Like it is like there's a bit of weight to it. It feels very sturdy. It doesn't feel flimsy, or it's plastic, but it feels sturdy, right? There you can see. Sorry, what's that?
I said it's a reusable stim pack.
No, it's not reusable because it only clicks down. It can't be refilled, right? Not without disassembling it and doing a lot more work, right? It's not like you can like pull the plunger up and like fill the container, right? To that point, it is completely depressed, but
we all
in these trying times. But it does look like there might be some kind of residue on the inside of the vial. So let us cut to the four of you reconvening somewhere on campus, presumably, and exchanging information.
The swimming coach didn't really have anything, but he thinks that there might be a player on the football team who's showing improvement that might be considered overt.
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch what you said there.
Oh, I was just saying unnatural.
And I said overt.
Okay.
Football would definitely be the kind of sport one would assume aggression and marked increase in physicality would be much desired.
Dark side of the Force is a pathway to ability some consider to be unnatural. I'd add that.
But we do now have what appears to be some kind of possibly military stim EpiPen type of thing that has some residue hopefully still within it that we can bring to the police.
I'd like to bring it to a lab. I'll bring it back to the police and see if they'll let me use a lab.
Right, I assume if we bring it to the police that they have access to a lab, and since we helped get it, we should be able to hopefully talk them into sharing results with us. Unless you have access to an independent lab that will do it for you.
Back at the base, but I might as well use the police's lab or just wait for their results. I'd have to do everything myself.
I don't know if there's enough residue left in the pen in order to leave anything for the police if we do an independent research, which means that we would be breaking the deal that was
let's go
put
bring
together.
it to the police, and I will just get their results.
Yeah, so I think that was part of the deal, that they would share their results with you. Right.
And also another upside is while they're doing their tests, we can look at the site of the next big deal. Hopefully get there and check it out before the deal happens.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Sounds good.
Same here.
If I'm remembering it, we still have some time to get there before the deal was supposed to go down.
Yeah, because it's going down late at night. You know, don't want anybody around. But I think this is a good place. Let's take a quick break. Can we do like a 10-minute break for the stream? Then we'll come back and we'll catch up with everybody if anyone wants to do anything before the deal goes down, and then we'll see what happens there. Alright, we are back. We just took a quick break, but in the first half of our session, our heroes found out about a new drug. Performance-enhancing drug called snake oil, which led to an altercation at a swim meet. After interviewing one of the users, they found out that it has remarkable properties that seem to push people beyond normal human limits. More so, afterwards, they investigated the school where he attended and were able to acquire a used sample of the drug, and talk to the swim coach who seemed remorseful, might be the word, but certainly annoyed that one of his athletes would do that, and then tipped them off about another athlete that might be using, but that's in another coach's thing, not his. They also found out about a potential drug buy that's going on later this evening. So let's check in with our heroes and see where they want to go next.
Well, I believe our first stop is to the police, drop off the drug sample, fulfill our end of that bargain.
All right. So, what do you tell them as far as like how this went down?
I don't see any reason to hold anything back. We went to the frat, found the gentleman we were told to ask for, handed him the note. He supplied us with the backpack. We talked with him a little bit, but he didn't know anything. They were simply passing friends. But the frat house in general is a cool and chill place. And they were not, what was the term? Choka person friends. They were just, passing friends.
I can corroborate what Talking Bunny says. Even though I wasn't technically there.
All right.
And we can give them the whole backpack too, so they can kind of show, or if there's anything else in there that's forensically of use.
Yeah, so they will definitely take the entire backpack as part of evidence, because who knows what's in there? Maybe some of it leaked, and they can find something in like the socks that he was hiding it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any of those weird details that the CSIs might turn up.
I'm sure that's what they'll find in the socks.
Nope. All right, moving on. Where are you guys off to next?
I think the only other lead we have at the moment is the location of the drug buy, which...
Yeah, let's go there.
Oh,
I was going to say football field, but...
Yeah, I was going to bring up to the cops about the guy talking about the football field. The coach mentioning that one of the football players may be... his performance looks a little bit enhanced, shall we say.
Yeah, that's smart. Pass that off to the cops to try and stop something from happening in public again. And we can go stake out the drug deal?
Sounds like Huey Lewis is at the stadium.
Well, here's a question, because the cops heard him tell us about the possible location of the drug deal. Do we want to coordinate with the police as well regarding this? Have us go in as like the centerpiece, because this could be metahuman involved, since this drug is turning people into kind of beefed up guys. Have us go in and have them in a cordon-like situation around the scene, so if we do manage to catch anyone, we can hand them off to the police immediately.
I'm going to say no to that, because if the cops even are anywhere near that, whoever's selling the drugs are going to not be there.
Well, yeah, but they already know is the point, because we found out about it in the interrogation room. Where they
I understand that, and if we're still there talking to them, my thing is to be saying that, no, if the cops are there, if you guys are there, then just not going to do the deal.
Gotcha. Yeah, we don't want the deal to not happen.
I would say I need to enhance my performance.
So here's the thing: like the cops were clearly going to leverage that information, right? And when you bring this up, they will recognize the point that you're making, and what they can agree to do, right, is they can stay at a reasonable or comfortable distance away, and by that I mean like several blocks away and in unmarked cars, right?
I can wear a camera. So they could watch the stuff go down.
Yeah. So they'll definitely like put a camera on you, but the idea would be that you would be observing, and then they would like put together a kettle. In that they would block them off and prevent them from retreating once they have the evidence based on what you're seeing.
All right, so the plan, I think the best plan is we're there to observe. If any metahumans shenanigans kick off, they let us subdue the metahumans so they don't get injured. But if no metahuman shenanigans kick off, we let the deal go down and everyone go away, and they'll catch them in the cordon. In the net they're going to set up after they show up.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
I just don't want the cops walking in and getting, like, bashed by metahumans, you know?
And the cops don't want to get bashed by metahumans either. They are happy to let you take those blows for them. So, what I will tell you guys for free is that this is going down at a abandoned strip mall. Okay, so there was like a larger gym that was at the mall, and there was an anchor store. Anchor store goes under. Other stores start collapsing around that, and subsequently, eventually the gym closes. There might be like one or two businesses that are still operating inside the strip mall, right? But these are like niche specialty shops, and this is going down like much later in the evening than they would be open, right? But to give you an idea of where this is happening, right? Does anyone have any questions about that portion of it?
You said there's like an old gym there. Is that where the drug deal's basically happening?
Yeah, no, 100%. It's going down at the gym.
Does when the gym came down, like the closed down, did it bring down the whole neighborhood? So are there like abandoned cars and stuff around, or just?
So it's not in a great neighborhood to begin with, right? And the gym was not the anchor. There was like a box store there, and when the box store closed down, box store being like a Walmart or a Super Target, that sort of thing, right? When that closed down, that was really the beginning of the end for the mall, right? Traffic started drying up. Then the gym closed down because the gym couldn't support it with the reduced traffic. And then the other businesses kind of faded after that, right? So it's not so much that the closure collapsed the neighborhood; it's that the neighborhood couldn't support the mall. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. As for the question about abandoned cars, you're going to have to be there to find that out.
Okay. I thought we were already, but yeah, okay, gotcha.
No, I was trying to give you some this is what you can know just from talking to the cops before you go there.
Got it.
Right, because how you go there and how you want to approach the situation is a question worth asking. So allow me to ask that question. What's the plan from here, guys?
Well, I think I should also get a camera because I can basically be inside, like the main room of this decrepit gym, and just pretend to be a stuffed bunny that's just been discarded there.
That sounds smart.
And then when it's time to go get him, I'll come running and say, "Oh, I lost my bunny! Has anybody seen my stuffed bunny?"
All right, so the cops will definitely agree to that. Like they have body cams, they will provide you one. Any other preparations that you want to do before heading over there?
That's what I can think of.
No, I'm just gonna head over there.
All right. So, as far as like heading to the location, is there? How do you guys want to do that? And I mean that so much as like, are you just gonna like sit in front of the gym out in the plain? Out in the street, like, are you gonna like stay like a block away? Or are you gonna try and get into the building?
What's directly across the street from the gym?
Give me a fortune and serendipity roll. Or just fortune if you don't have serendipity. It's teasing us. It wants to give us a result.
Things about went down. It is offline.
Oh no!
Alas, poor Dice Maiden, we hardly knew ye.
Here comes a Dice Valkyrie right now.
let's see here. Yeah, I guess if you have some physical dice, go ahead and roll those. I'm fine with that. Or if you have a dice rolling app or something like that, go ahead and use that.
Okay, will do. $13 with a 6.
All right. So, what is it that you would like to see across the street?
Let's say an abandoned bank. It's like a low, I don't know, it doesn't have to be a bank. It's like a 1 to 2 story building with maybe a supporting building near it. I don't know.
Maybe an ATM that's got an indoor section with a, its own little lobby type thing to protect you from elements.
Yeah, that works. I hate those, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. That ATM is still active too, but that door doesn't work. Right. Yep.
Yeah. Only. Yeah.
Interesting.
Good 10
Okay.
picks.
Yeah. So yeah, across the street there is a it's a gas station, right? It's closed, like it's shut down. But there used to be a gas station.
That's as good a place as any.
Yeah, we can post up there on the roof.
All right.
It has like that pergola over the pumps, right?
Yeah, it's got the corrugated roof for the pumps.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. All right. So, how about Miranda? How are you approaching this? Where are you going to be as things go down?
I think I'm gonna park myself at the gas station. Sorry, I was thinking 7-Eleven. And I'm gonna be dressed in clothing that makes me look like I'm not a superhero and more like part of the underworld stuff. Fitting myself in nice. I'm undercover.
Okay. So are you just going to dress as if you belong in the neighborhood, or are you trying to hide as well?
I'm gonna dress in such. Okay.
Sorry. One more time, please.
The other person, Phoenix was speaking before me.
Yeah, I caught what she was saying, but I didn't hear what you had said.
Oh, I'm gonna dress like I look like I'm supposed to be in the neighborhood, so that if I catch anything, if I'm close enough, I don't look too suspicious.
Okay. Are you hiding in addition to that, or just?
I'm gonna hide, but I'm gonna try to approach the situation.
Okay, so you're gonna be a little bit closer, right? You'll be at the gas station, but a bit closer. Is that what I'm understanding?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So, give me a expression plus, let's say, street smarts and disguise if you have it. I would also take fashion if you have that.
I do have expression. I have subterfuge.
I'll let you spend a willpower to use subterfuge instead.
Okay. It says 1 AP next to it. Does that?
Oh, that just meant that you spent an advancement point on that. That's all.
So expression and subterfuge and.
And then while you're making that roll, I will check in on Paragon.
I will be kind of posted outside or alongside the building with eyesight to it, but just kind of like leaning against the building.
You're gonna try and
like I'm loitering.
My roll suck.
Okay. All right. So let's do the same kind of concept there. Give me a expression plus street smarts and disguise if you got it. And then I do believe Hopkins was going to try and plant himself inside of the gym innocuously as a teddy bunny.
Can I, before we do that, and before Paragon, you make your roll, can I suggest maybe this might be a good time to use your one of your boons, the tools boon, to give you a nice boost to your roll? You could magic yourself up some disguise.
Great suggestion. Actual twos would give you a +10 to this roll.
Also, you're muted.
That works for me. That'll give me a 19 plus a 6, or with a 6.
Excellent. Okay. And so, Hopkins, did I successfully describe what you were planning on doing?
Yeah, I'll find a bit of refuse and kind of situate myself with it so I look like a lost, abandoned, stuffed rabbit.
Okay. All right. So yeah, just give me a again. Let's say, you know what? You're not gonna just give me a wisdom plus stealth roll, because no one's gonna worry about the rabbit once you're in place. It's just, did anyone see you walk in there?
All right, that's a terrible roll for me then.
All right.
Oh, I forgot to add my expression. Oops, I rolled that wrong. I just realized that.
All right. So you guys kind of get into place. For those of you across the street, essentially you see people begin to gather in the parking lot. Probably close to like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. All of them seem to be like very muscular, potentially athletes or bodybuilders. They pull their cars in, and they're having kind of like a little party, waiting for things to start.
They look like a bunch of buyers, basically.
Yeah, right. Like just collection of jocks who are partying it up, waiting for whatever's about to happen to happen. Inside, eventually someone will go inside. And or not somebody, several somebodies will go inside, and they'll begin like clearing space. And Hopkins, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you A, get flung like garbage, or B, blow your cover?
No, I will perfectly adapt to my status as a stuffed bunny and simply be flung like garbage.
All right. So, at some point, while they're doing like there seems to be setting up like a stage or something to that effect, using overturned gym equipment and mats, and you just happen to be in the way. Like one of these guys grabs you by one of your ears and just flings you across the room into a wall. So let's call that 8 damage, minus your armor.
Most rude.
Oh, my poor stuffed bunny.
In the parking lot, the party just seems to keep growing. There is maybe 10 or 15. Yeah, let's say there's like 15 of these guys out in the parking lot. All just kind of partying it up. And then another there's like a trio that are inside. They're setting things up for whatever's happening. Finally, probably about 1 a.m., they open the back doors to the gym, and this guy comes in. I say this, but I'm going to hold off on describing what they look like, because Hopkins' field of vision has been obscured by being flung. But there's a bit of conversation, and you can hear a commotion happening. And you can hear heavy things being put down by where you suspect that stage was being set up. And finally you hear someone say, "All right." And there's a flash of like blue light, almost like there was suddenly a moment of techno music. And he says, "Go get everyone, and let's do this." And so, oh, I'm sorry, I left out a key detail. So out in the parking lot, the partying drug buyers are doing fun things like benching someone's car.
Gotcha.
Can I walk in on this?
So you can certainly walk over like across the street to this, but you will look extremely out of place. Right? Like you look in place for the neighborhood, but not necessarily in place for what's going on here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I'm thinking of a way to possibly counter that.
Since they're doing these wild acts of strength, would it make sense that it might draw neighborhood people to watch? Like they might come up to the sidewalk and watch from the street, or because that's kind of wild.
So here's the thing: like we are at about like 1 a.m.
Okay.
And so there's not really people out on the streets at this point, right? Like they, that's what I was trying to describe earlier. Like they definitely waited until this is not the kind of neighborhood you want to be around, and hearing this kind of commotion from your vantage point, like you can tell that people are actively avoiding coming towards this because of the neighborhood. If that makes sense.
Are they still doing the lifting the car thing?
Yeah, like that's just like they're taking turns to show like who can do it and who can't.
I want to wait for one of the guys who can do it.
Okay.
And see I want to see how strong he is.
Okay, I think I got a plan. What's the rating of this RP again?
Well, we're shooting for like a PG-13 kind of thing.
Okay, I think I can get away with that with this one. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna look around at people, and if I'm approached, I'm gonna say, "Hey, big boy, you looking for a good time tonight?"
All right. Okay, so let me resolve the question that Spud asked, and then we will resolve that. If that's makes sense.
Yep.
All right.
It just occurred to me I could probably get away with doing that in this neighborhood.
So what is it that you're planning on doing as far as like testing how strong they actually are?
So the next guy who is able to lift the car, I'm gonna start pushing down on the top of it with my telekinetic power. Like as he starts to lift it up, I'm gonna start adding force behind it.
Okay, so let's do this. Do you have like control in your power?
No.
Let's take a look at your power.
But I have reduced detection.
All right. So spend a willpower for me, and then roll your intelligence plus thoughtless, and we will roll off against their strength.
You said spend a willpower, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, 29 with a 6. Now it comes back online.
All right. So, the guy who is lifting the car, you almost have to exert yourself, but not really. Right? It looks like he's about to pull off the lift, but then he doesn't.
Oh.
All right. So let's see how Miranda's proposition goes here.
And that's just like I fit in there. I'm out on the street at night doing what sometimes do out on the street at night. Many little insinuations here. I hope the crowd, viewers get it.
So you are going to try and proposition one of these jocks.
Any of them. If I get questioned about it, I would. That's how I'm gonna act. I'm gonna act like I'm interested in a good time.
Right. Okay. So why don't you give me a expression plus subterfuge roll, and then if you have beautiful as well, or no?
I don't think so, but darn well I should.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and give me expression plus subterfuge. For the record, every superhero looks good, but having beautiful means that you can make money looking good. So
That's gonna have to be in my next what do you call it?
Now, here's a question. If the bodybuilder in question is in fact a furry, would she not be able to then add her power to this roll?
Oh, the very slim jock furries.
Don't go stereotyping all jocks. There are nerd jocks.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I'm going to
25.
Yeah, there we go. Let's focus on that roll. That 25. Okay.
Oh, we'll come back to it.
Oh, I am so cute.
So, yeah, like you walk across the street and immediately, you know, they're saying things to the effect of "you shouldn't be here." Why don't you walk the other way? Stuff like that. You try and proposition one of them, and there is a long moment, and he's like, why don't you make scarce and come back in like 2 hours?
It's not a no from him. It's just not. It's just a not right now.
Yeah, it's not a no. It's a not right now. Which effectively is a still you need to vacate their space is the statement. But like there was like this long pause, but he needs to take care of this first.
Sure, I'll make like I'm making myself scarce.
Okay. All right.
I did have one thing I'd like to
Not gonna
try.
make myself scarce, but I'll make like it.
Well, you can certainly walk slowly. You don't have to let people know exactly how fast you can vacate the area. All right, Hopkules?
When the whole blue flash happened and they said, okay, let's get the show started,
Uh-huh.
I'd like to try and reposition myself, but make it look like I'm just, you know, kind of moving, like the bunny which was thrown over into the corner is just kind of rolling and settling.
Okay.
Like maybe I was just, you know, kind of not like actually not like I'm moving, but like something was just hanging by something maybe and just kind of rolled into a better position.
Yeah. Let's just call that, we'll call that like expression plus stealth. Like you're out in the open, but That just looked like natural movement. That's the thing that would happen.
I'd like to use my tools and basically have it look like I'm not the only thing moving, but like some old kids' toys kind of fall out of my satchel and move along with me, so it looks like I'm not the only thing that's kind of resettling.
Okay.
Give me a little more cover so it looks less suspicious.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Yeah, no one seems to notice, and I'll tell you what the guy looks like now. So the stage has been set up. They actually did a pretty decent job of like making it level, and it looks like it wouldn't fall apart if someone stood on top of it. There are 2 metal crates kind of flanking it, and then the guy standing there is wearing just some regular pants. He has on a hooded jacket, with large cuffs, and you can see kind of like what ground effects are on a car. It's like he had ground effects underneath the jacket, where the hood is and where his wrists are. Right? And there's just this kind of faint blue glow coming out from underneath there. And between the glow and the hood, it obscures his face.
Man's got LEDs in his jacket.
And this seems like the person who was described to us before. Brendan?
Yeah, so Brendan didn't mention the glow, but everything else does seem to match, okay. Right? And this may have just been like a detail that he left out, because he did mention that he couldn't see the guy's face.
Yeah.
Jimmy the coat guy, Coda Greenie.
Yeah. I think at this point, all the players seem to be here, right? That's the vibe we were getting.
Yeah, so they're going to call everyone in now, right? That's
Paragon will start walking over that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll float down when it seems like there's less people, inconspicuously, and I'll start going in too.
Paragon's not waiting for less people. He's going to start moving over once it seems like everything's just about ready.
Well, yeah, you're in an alley. I'm on a roof.
True.
Okay, so
Can I sneak in?
that's a great question. So from the front, probably not, right? Not unless you were like superhumanly stealthy. But if you were on the roof or in the back of the building, possibly.
Okay, I'll run up the side of the building to get on the roof.
Okay. So go ahead, give me a dexterity plus stealth roll.
And is dexterity plus subterfuge still an option?
One second here. So I'll give you the choice here. You can either use you can spend a willpower to add your subterfuge, or spend a willpower to use your power. And if you use your power, I'll let you add in your running as well. So yeah, that actually makes the better sense. So you're so fast, no one really picks up on what you're doing.
Okay, so that's a 12 plus 8.
Plus your movement of 10, so 30 and 4 dice. Yeah, you know what? At 30 and 4 dice, you don't even have to roll. Like they're not going to catch you. You're walking away. You're walking away. You're up on the roof. All right. So let me check in with Paragon here because you said you're not waiting for them to get inside.
No.
Are you going to prevent them from going inside?
No.
Okay.
I'm walking past them.
Okay. So yeah, they now that it's going down, they are much less interested in who's in the area because they're going into the gym. Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm just walking straight in like I belong there.
Oh, I see. I
am too. I'm just gonna do it last.
All right. Well, you're definitely going to stand out compared to them, right? So let's do expression and subterfuge to see if
I'm not trying to blend in. I'm just walking like I belong there, like that level of confidence.
I see. All right. How do we want to represent this to see if we can let you get away with that? Because I like where you're coming from.
That sounds more like a mental role than an expression.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's mental, but is there a talent that goes along with that? Right, like maybe never back down or something like that?
I could see that. I don't have it, but I could see that works. Or that would work.
Yeah, so give me a mental roll. Mental and 2 dice. And we'll see how they react to that.
$16. No sixes.
You could do mental and perception and try to give them crazy eyes.
Yeah, no, so the I own the place attitude works for you. Right? They're not really opposed to, like, oh, well, this guy clearly is supposed to be here, so let's go get drugs. You said you're waiting until everyone's inside and then you're just going to slip in after them?
Yeah, I'm going to walk in the back. I'm going to walk in after they're already in.
Alright, so now you're taking more of a stealthy approach, is that right?
No. I mean, I still have the mohawk. They're going to see me.
Alright. So let's do the same thing for you, the I belong here roll.
That's mental?
Yeah, mental and never back down. And I'm just going to keep my last roll because that works for this situation.
Can I use my street smarts?
Sure. I won't even charge you a willpower for it.
$19.
Alright. Yeah, so, the stragglers just ain't got them gains, but, they belong here.
Everybody gets to start somewhere, right?
Right.
That is right.
Okay. So
I guess these drugs aren't for girls, though.
So there probably are some female athletes there. I haven't called them out, and it's not to be discriminatory there. So I apologize, but yeah, there probably is a mix of some female bodybuilders there as well. And again, they did not balk at Bernadette showing up.
Are there rafters I can be in at this point?
Yeah, no. So there are entrances not entrances, but there are openings on the roof for like windows that have been knocked out, and you can drop down into the rafters from there.
And what that is what I am doing.
Okay. So once everyone's gathered, the pusher, as it were, will begin talking things up and talking about how great his product is. He will open the crates using like a keypad on the side, and it is like a pressurized crate. Like it is cooled inside, so there's actually less product in there than you might expect. Because it is like reinforced and cooled, but it opens up, and then there are flats of like so many of these pins individually set and secured, right? And he starts making deals back and forth, working that out with these guys.
Is there any sign of any sort of meta presence?
So just to qualify this, the athletes probably already qualify as superhumanly strong.
Correct.
Right? As far as the dealer goes, there's nothing that inherently says that they're metahuman, but he has that blue glow from his cuffs and from his collar, along with his hoodie, preventing you from seeing what they look like.
Then, what the play that Paragon would make at this point is right as he starts to try and start a deal. I'm gonna pull out the medallion so it's kind of set out and looks more prominent, and just walk up and say, "Not on my turf," and cold clock him.
Nice.
All right. So let's do this. So yeah. We already established that confidence is king, and the jocks are just going to let you walk past them, right? Mm-hmm. And go ahead and give me your best shot. We'll say you catch him off guard.
I'm just going to use the two-fisted. I'm not going to let it known that Paragon is a meta at this point.
Okay.
Just for the sake of, if it's not necessary, I don't want to cross that line. So
no one moves muscle juice through this neighborhood without Daddy Paragon getting a taste.
31 with a 6.
And from the a trash pile corner, a lone bunny voice can be heard saying, "Well, that'll strike off plan A and B, and I guess we're moving on to plan C."
The distribution of punches to faces? Yes, it is. All right. What was your roll there?
31 with a 6.
All right. Well, that will definitively hit. And so because you rolled a 6, you're gonna get an extra 2 damage. So what is the damage there?
That'll be 6 damage unless they're supernatural in any way.
He is not.
Or magical. Sorry. Supernatural or magical.
Okay.
And after that, after he does that, I'd like to try to grab the crate and bring it up the rafters at high speed.
All right. So let me just describe this, and then we're going to roll some initiative here. So you cold clock him, right? Mm-hmm. Catching him completely off guard, right? this kind of pulls back or knocks his hood down, and you can see that he has these lightning-filled blisters that cover his skin, and that's what's been causing this blue glow. And
that's gonna call out from the back. Gross.
And he will float into the air with some witty quip to the effect of, "You have made a mistake. You have made a big mistake." And now let's do initiative, and we'll see how those dice fall, and we'll check about Miranda grabbing those crates. But we start with the initiative.
It pays to be fast.
We're all grouped pretty close together on that one.
I'm still here. I just have to stand up, and I don't want to do that on camera.
I had to resituate myself, but I did.
Okay, so just as a reminder, initiative goes from slowest to fastest, and then if you have a higher initiative, you can interrupt what's going on. Okay?
Correct.
This allows for heroes to see the villain go to hurt the person and stop them from doing that. All right? I realize that going from slowest to fastest is kind of counter to a lot of different RPGs. So that's just a quick reminder as to why the snake jocks are going first. Now, because Paragon has revealed himself as to be an obstruction to their ability to get to snake oil, the dog pile shall now commence.
These guys are a bunch of jocks and sports guy and bodybuilders, so this is less a dog pile and more a beef pile.
I've watched the documentary. I know what snakes do when they get in a pile together.
Nope.
Don't put that on me. I don't want to. I don't want any of that nonsense.
Nope.
I'll do that.
Bad potato.
Bad bunny.
All right. So, Paragon, I do want to point out that this would be, you would have the opportunity to try and counter if you want to attempt that. Musically,
absolutely.
You will be making the exact same roll that they would. Yeah. So, if you're within 5, interesting things happen. But if you're, as long as you're above them, your counter will go off. So
remind me again what making my dice explode does.
It doubles the value on the dice, right? Okay. So like I rolled a 16. If I'd exploded those dice, it'd be a 32.
Okay, so I'm gonna explode mine.
Okay.
And so that will take me up another 9, so 47.
All right, perfect. Okay, so they dogpile on you, and describe what that looks like.
Oh, well, so as they close in on Paragon, Paragon will reach with one hand and grasp their medallion as they kind of enclose. And as the crushing kind of like force forward hits a certain like apex, then there's a swing, like he just swings with his fist and nails a few of them with his counter blow.
Okay.
For 10 points of damage.
Excellent. Okay.
I can't help picture Paragon just backhanding a bunch of guys. Just grab his medallion like, respect my authority.
That's going to be in my head now. Thank you. All right. So you
that's my authority.
The fact that the medallion prevents them from hitting you kind of catches them off guard. Your fists following up with it certainly was not what they were expecting to have happen. Bernadette, what are you doing here?
Oh yeah, I am fast this turn. I guess I'll float into the sky with this floaty guy and try to, slam him with a telekinetic attack.
All right.
Since I have a 33, can I do something first?
Sure. What would you like to do?
I want to come down on the rafters using the, guy as a step. Basically, jump down on the guy and then jump down from him onto the, by the fruit down there and run away with it.
All right. So you can absolutely do that, or at least the first part of that. The crates are rather large. Actually, takes like 2 people to carry them, right? But using him as a way to jump down, 100% can do that. Do you want to just call that an attack roll?
Yeah, I can do that too. All right. Yeah.
Would it be a running attack?
Yeah, actually. Because their movement is running or hopping.
All right, let me look at that up on my sheet. So is that like dexterity plus movement?
I'm highlighting it for you right here.
So rapid.
It's this move through. It's 12 and 5 dice.
It's a 30.
All right. Well, he certainly was not expecting someone to jump from the rafters onto his back. And what's the damage there?
30, it says?
That's the attack roll. That's going to hit. What's the damage?
It says 16. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And there's no 6s, so it is the 16 damage. And all of a sudden, he's having a very bad day. So give me just a moment here.
I am still going to try to attempt the crates, and if it's next turn, it's next turn. I think I might have enough strength plus fitness to get it out of there.
It can't hurt to try.
All right. So you definitely hear something pop as you jump off of him and land on the ground. But he remains floating and looking very angry. And Bernadette, you were going to try a telekinetic strike. Is that correct?
That is accurate.
All right.
I'm gonna give him what for? Big old telekinetic fist in his face. .43 to hit.
All right. He is going to try and interrupt you.
Hey, Randy. That's a 43 with a 6. BT dubs.
That's extra damage there.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Alright, so here's the thing. You throw it like a telekinetic fist. He throws out a bolt of lightning. You know that cool thing where like the two beams of energy kind of hit at the same time?
Right.
You see that move and it kind of like bounces back and forth, back and forth? You don't do that. You both hit each other with your respective beams.
Oh, double knockout.
So how much damage do you do?
12.
Add 2 for your 6, or did you already do that?
I already did that.
All right. And he will do 12 damage as well, actually. That's
Son
funny.
of a bitch. That hurt.
I'd have offered to help you, but I'm, on the other side of the room.
It's all good. I knew what I was getting into.
All right. Yeah. So something like he does not look well.
Can I still do my second action? Or
You can absolutely do your second action.
I'm gonna hit him again. If he wants to go a second time.
Yeah, let's do that one more time. Once more with feeling.
That was worse. So he could only beat me if he does it perfectly. Alright, he probably does it better than me.
And get wrecked.
All right, so this time he's expecting your telekinetic blast, and he just overwhelms you with like lightning, hitting you for 14 damage.
Somewhere far off in the distance, you hear someone say, "Unlimited power."
Alright, I need to make I think that knocks me down to -3.
All right, so what you want to do is you're going to roll either your mental or your constitution plus outlast if you have it to stay standing, unless you want to be knocked out.
Actually, -5. Is it mental or constitution?
Yeah, whichever one's higher.
And outlast?
And outlast.
Same score either way. So I'll go constitution.
Okay. And your difficulty is a 20 to stay standing, a 30 to avoid
I can.
taking an injury. You got a 6, so that will actually avoid taking an injury. You are not feeling well. You probably have like some serious electrical burns, but you're not out of this fight yet. All right, Hopcules.
This is officially a cat stream.
I can't argue with that.
I didn't ask for this.
All right. So
Dueling cat streams.
So am I technically within close range, or am I actually a range increment away? Since I got thrown like trash.
Yeah, let's say you're at short range. Like you're not that far off, but it'll take you a moment to close ranks.
All right. And what do I need to do to move as an action instead of a turn?
That's a sprint action. That's your dexterity plus movement, and your target is a 20. And if your power supports movement, you can obviously add that in.
Yeah, since I'm using my bunny leap.
Yeah.
Well, that's a 30 with a 6.
All right, yeah. So you spend one action to close ranks, and then you have one action left.
Well, it's too late for me to really be useful on the defense, so I will smack whatever jocks are still standing with my wooden sword.
Okay.
The cat is not making this easy to roll.
I grab my knock to make it as complete as possible.
So yeah, that's a 26 as Hopcules informs the punks to surrender, you knaves, and then he'll smack them in the knees with his wooden sword.
All right. And how much damage does that do?
That is 4 damage. Feel my wrath.
One of those like, hey, that stings. All right. Let's see here. I've burned through 2 of Rampage's actions. He has been pummeled. He is angry, but it is worth it. I'm going to burn 3 willpower to take a surprising action. And my surprising action probably should not come as any surprise at all, as he tries to flee the scene.
Pussy.
What's that?
I said pussy.
I'd like
All
to
right.
try and interrupt that.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to make my movement roll, and then you'll take whatever action you are going to do to try and interrupt it.
I'm going to try and arcane bolt.
Okay.
Interrupt it.
Okay. So you'll make your attack roll, and I will make my movement roll.
Cast your mighty fist attack.
Oh, this one is actually ranged. So, 50 with 2 6s.
All right. So how much damage does that do?
That one does 6 unless he's considered magical.
He's
I don't know
not.
if his lightning is magical or not. So
No. He's it's not magical, but you do
so
get
that'd
extra-
be a total of 10 with the 2 6s.
perfect. All right.
I wanted on record that I imagine Paragon's magic bolts are actually little magic fists flying through the air.
Yeah,
Actually,
I see that.
Actually, what happens with this character is these like four spectral wings come out, angelic wings, and they send buffeted blasts of different types of energy. And we can make them like fists with eyes.
That's very angelic.
Yeah.
Be not afraid.
You know what? This is the Rampage is out. he is now thoroughly knocked out at this point. And that brings us to Miranda. You have one action left. You want to try and lift one of the crates, is that correct?
Yes, I'm out of cat gravity status.
Okay, so...
yes, I would like to try to do that.
Alright, so that's going to be a strength and brawn roll.
What can I do to replace that with strength plus fitness?
Spend a willpower and you can use your fitness instead.
I am getting low on willpower. That's down to 1. Okay. Strength plus fitness. That's a 24 with 1 6.
All right. So we know that Miranda's not necessarily physically strong, but maybe it's more just a matter of momentum. You're able to like hit it at the right angle and get it up off the ground. And as long as you keep moving, it keeps going.
All right, then I'm moving it back up. I'm moving it to the rafters with myself.
Well, so getting to the rafters would be rather difficult because that's
Okay.
a like up kind of situation. But like moving it in a straight line somewhere, either out the back door or out the front door, that would certainly be doable.
Let's go back door.
Okay. So. All right, so that'll be your next turn. Is actually escaping with it.
And I do have escape artist for that.
Well, I mean, like fleeing the scene. Escape artist is like getting out of like bonds and things along those lines. All right, but you do have the crate. You are making your way out. It's just that won't happen to your next turn because this was your second action. Okay, so. The jocks. Well, here's a fun question. I think they see the way things are going, and they're going to make a dash at the other crate to just like grab what they can and get out of here.
I want to use my action to. I'm faster than they are, right? For their turn.
Yeah.
I want to use my. I want to interrupt them and grab the crate and throw it towards the roof.
Okay. All right. So you'll make a you'll need to spend a willpower for control again, right? But then you'll make a power roll against their roll. Okay.
Sounds good. I'll spend 2 willpower so I can explode my dice. $42 with a 6.
Oh. That would have been fun if you didn't get that 6. But alright, so you are able to telekinetically lift the other crate before the jocks can get to it. Like one or two of them like kind of grab onto it and like slide off if you're lifting it up towards the rafters. Alright. You do have one action left, Bernadette.
There's a hole that Miranda came through, right? Can I just push it through that hole so it's on the roof, out of their reach?
You can, but you're gonna like rain down like broken glass doing that.
Oh, then I don't want to do that. I'll just wedge it into the rafters.
Okay. All right. So that is your second action. Hopkins.
I'm not much use when it comes to offense.
Well, I will point out that their will to fight seems to be broken because Rampage is down.
There's also a dragnet with cops outside. Right? Or did
the imperative was that if they were like metahumans, they were going to wait for you guys to take care of things before they moved in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if these guys count as meta because they're
well,
they are superhumanly strong.
Yeah, technically based on their strength, they are superhuman.
Okay. Cool.
But they're not really on the class of an actual supervillain. So.
Yeah, like if you were a normal person, you wouldn't want to tangle with these guys, right? You guys being full-on superheroes, though, you're a little bit more well-equipped. So I will point this out as a eloquent fellow. If you want to try and talk them down, you can certainly make the attempt to do that.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt their fleeing and just make them catch these hands?
Well, they haven't tried to flee. They tried to grab onto the drugs, and that was taken from them by brother.
Gotcha. So they're still in range.
Yeah, they're still there.
Oh, then.
And we're checking on we're gonna see what Hopkins does here, and it may come down to violence, but again, their will to fight seems to be broken at this point.
So yeah, I was thinking I will hop
getting
up.
their drugs tonight.
I will hop up onto one of the tallest of the gang members, and then speaking politely to all of them, I'll jump up on his shoulder and perch there, and then speak to all of them as I stand in their group. Sirs and madams, I am afraid that there is no escape at this point. If you agree to simply surrender to us, so we can take you in, no injuries will come to you. And I will also give each of you who surrenders a cookie.
It's a cookie that sells it.
And I will hold out a plate of, not freshly baked cookies anymore because they were baked a couple hours ago, but they're still sealed and wrapped and nice and tasty.
He does have cookies. All right, so let's call this a mental plus negotiation roll.
I mean,
I'll let you spend a willpower to
students that turn down free food would be weird.
I will let you sub in your etiquette or domestic with a willpower.
All right. I'll take that and substitute in my etiquette.
Can I spend an action to assist with my negotiation?
Well, describe how you're assisting, and then absolutely.
Well, I think Paragon would chime in and say, The bunny makes a good deal there for you. No more violence, and he'll kind of like, flex a little bit, and his hands will just kind of shimmer in energy, and you get free food.
All right.
Yeah, no more violence. Bernadette says as she coughs up blood.
No more violence. All right. So what's your negotiation?
10.
All right. So take a 10 to that roll, Hop, please.
Nice.
So that's a 39.
I don't think there's any way for them to really beat this, but I'm going to give them an obligatory roll anyway.
There's like one guy who's like, up yours, bunny.
Yeah. So again, their will to fight is basically broken. They will surrender and go peacefully now that the dealer is taken care of. Miranda, you run outside, removing that temptation, being the other thing that might have tempted them to keep fighting. And there's a van back there, presumably how the dealer was able to bring the drugs in. And you're basically doing that like arched back, holding something that's way too big, kind of like scramble until you get to the back end or like the back exit of the strip mall, where the crate tumbles as a cop car starts to swoop in.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave it at the crate in the back near the car. I would like to investigate this van and see if there's anybody hiding in it.
Yeah. So the I'll come back to that. Well, no. So yeah, go ahead. Give me a sense plus forensic roll. Because like the cops are like, what do you say to the cops? And then we'll do that roll.
That we have separated the drugs from the people who are trying to take them, and the inside everybody else is handling the situation with the other crate.
Okay. So yeah, they're pretty satisfied with that answer. Go ahead, give me a sense plus forensics roll.
Okay, I don't have strict forensics, but I do have sense.
So that's sense.
Can I use perception?
If you spend a willpower, you can.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with sense and just roll 2 dice because I don't want to spend my last willpower on that.
So I'm going to throw this out, and this is a little metagamey, but just to help people get familiar with the rules. We are at the tail end of the session. Willpower resets at the start of new sessions, unless there's like some kind of mitigating circumstance.
Fine, okay, you did come up here, Cat. Alright, I'll use that last willpower.
The cat is aware that you want to use the keyboard, and therefore needs to make its presence known.
That is what I hear about
that was
cats.
terrible, but yeah, the cat. I'm trying to what do you call it? I'm basically looking at myself in the screen to see where I'm typing.
That's impressive that you can do that. Like, hats off to you. All right. So there's nothing like incriminating necessarily in the van until you check the GPS and you can see like where they came from.
Okay. So I'm going to call the cop over and make them have them take a look at the GPS so they can take a look, basically track where it comes from. And now I'd have that information, and so do they.
So the cops are going to they're going to start doing like their thing. When they get inside of the gym, they are amused to see the jocks willing to give themselves over as they in fact eat cookies. Let me just finish this first.
I mean, they're good cookies, so.
Oh yeah,
Can't blame them.
And I think I might actually I'll ask permission with the police to take the van and follow the GPS back up to the source of this to see what's going on.
So you want to take the van kind of like as cover?
Yeah. Because,
Okay. Give me an expression plus etiquette roll, and I'm going to give you a bonus to this. I have a number in my head, and I'm giving you a bonus here. But give me an expression plus etiquette roll.
Okay, I just have expression. I don't have etiquette. I'm out of willpower.
So expression and 2 dice. But you guys have earned some pretty good will towards the cops, having gotten a confession out of Brendan, having gotten a sample of the drugs, and now preventing them from having to deal with these guys.
Their whole
So
job.
do I have any kind of bonus on that, or just
Yeah. So I'm giving you a plus 10 to the roll. Essentially, you have prevented them from having to do their jobs, therefore they like you right now.
I got a 21 with a 6.
So they are they need to inventory it, but they are willing to let you take that. And I think we can because Rampage is knocked out. There's no real interrogating him. He's actually going to have to get medical help here. So there's no real interrogating him. He pushed himself to the limit and then got pushed a little bit further. But we'll pick up in the next session where you now have the van with the GPS. So you know the address and you have their van.
And everybody else is coming with me, I'm guessing?
Well, so we'll pick that up in the next session, right?
All right.
And then you also have the lead about a possible football player as well. And
so this
then
is no longer a one-shot.
yeah. So I think I mentioned this. This one may run 2 sessions. It's still an episodic adventure. It's just this is a longer adventure, right? But
yeah.
we
I like
have those
this
2 weeks for our next session. But I think that's where we're going to call the discussion to a close. Let me just ask any questions, comments, concerns about tonight's session.
Oh, it's actually
No, good.
excellent.
Yeah.
All right, and I believe we're going to start doing a thing called stars and wishes. So stars are kind of highlighting a moment that you thought was really good in the session, and then wishes are things that you want to see in the next session or sessions down the line. Oh, okay, so that's for after the stream. I thought they wanted to do that on the stream. Okay, well then, let's just go through and we will say our goodbyes here. Again, my name is Dave Silva. I am the author of Metahumans Rising and the GM for tonight. You can find us on Twitter at HouseDocPro, that's Doc with a K, or on Facebook at facebook.com/metahumans. There's probably some other socials out there. We're also on Patreon if you want to support our webcomic and the game itself, which is just patreon.com/metahumans. And then we'll just go down the line. If you want to, please go ahead and introduce yourself and where people can find you.
All right, I guess that makes me first here. I'm Elena, and Miranda over here too. So, my Twitter is Elena Foxy. I'm currently working on a RPG myself called Talents Are Bori. Science is Magic. I'm going to be released that with Fool's Moon, making big progress, and I publish about progress on that on Twitter. So if you just want to follow me there and watch that, go right ahead.
Hey, let's move on down the line.
Hey everybody, it's KG. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me here for the second part of this episode the next time that the game rolls around. But that's about all I've got going on right now to talk about, so I will pass it along to Michael.
It's the only time I forgot to push the talk I had turned on. I'm Michael. I occasionally stream over on LASNAV, LLASNAV. I have a Twitter, it's LLASNAD, but I never use it because Twitter is a hellscape and nobody should use Twitter.
Some of us have to, I'm sorry.
It's a hellscape. Flee from it. And I'll pass it on to Spud.
I'm Spud. I played Bernadette, and I enjoyed playing.
All right. Thanks again, everyone. We hope you enjoyed tonight's part 1 of Burning the Midnight Oil. We will be back in 4 weeks for part 2. Bye, bye, bye.